Have you ever dreamt of something which felt so impossible, so ridiculous that it will never ever happen? Something that you would actually go around joking with your friends, never thinking that it would actually get real one day. And this is the crazy story of how that dream of mine came true in the most unexpected way, and how I actually became a TEDx speaker. About 10 days ago, I got a very interesting email, and that email told me that you are invited to give a TED Talk. TED Talk is like a very big opportunity that I just could not miss, so I just said yes to being a guest as a TEDx speaker. I know, it's a big thing. The thing is, ek hafta bacha hai, I still haven't figured out what I'm going to speak about. Today's Sunday, the talk is next Monday, so we've got 1 week left. So chalo, likhte hain ek TED Talk. So TED is a platform which is based in New York, and it calls out the people who are doing good in the world to give speeches and to give talks, share the ideas which inspire many people, the ideas which change the world. Put it out online so that many people can see this. Never in my life did I actually think that I would be invited as one of the speakers. One fine day I was just studying, I get this message on my phone that invitation to be a TEDx speaker. Immediately I was like, this is a scam because this can't be real. After checking out the addresses and everything, it turned out to be actually legit. And after a few phone calls, it finally hit me that something magical has happened. I've written 200 scripts for videos and so many scripts for different advertisements, but writing a TEDx speech was the hardest script which I had to do in my life. And it took like an entire week to completely finalize what I wanted to say on that stage, because I knew that those 16 to 18 minutes which were given to me to present my talk should have such an actionable message that all the audience would have a positive change in their life, because that is what I do in my YouTube videos as well. In these 15 to 18 minutes, whatever you're watching, I try my best to give you something so good that you can apply that to your life and have a positive outcome. So if you're still not subscribed, please consider doing so. It would really mean a lot to me. One thing which I really suffered from during this time was something called as an imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome matlab ki I feel like I'm not worthy of this thing. I feel like I'm not at all worthy for the TED Talk. It happens quite a lot to me because I sometimes feel like I'm just a student who is making videos. I'm just a student who is just hitting the record button and recording stuff. How is that anything special? So this was the thing which was, getting me so much imposter syndrome. And at one point I was even thinking like, should I cancel the talk? Because I don't think I'm worthy enough to give a talk on the stage. I think that whenever you're doing something big in life, imposter syndrome is going to come to you because you're going to doubt yourself quite a lot. And this was the most serious episode that I had in a very long time. Anyways, after a lot of thinking and convincing myself, I said, kuch nahi hota, this is the opportunity of a lifetime, I have to do it. And finally, after putting all my blood, sweat and tears, I had a script of around 11 pages and I had to memorize those 11 pages. Hi everyone, it's me Dr. Anuj Pachhel. क्या हो रहा है मेरे साथ? So that was it, and very soon it was just 1 day left for my TED Talk. But after practicing in front of my parents about how I'm gonna speak, the way of presentation, the body language, all of that, I finally got the confidence to go and speak something. Lights just gayi hai, and my first instinct was to come out here and check कि मेरे neighbors की भी light gayi hai क्या. Just Indian things, I guess. So roughly 6 hours left for the talk. I'm talking with a flash in my phone, literally staring at my eyes. So you can clearly tell that I don't feel sleepy at all because it's just 12. I never sleep at 12, I sleep at 2, I wake up at 8. So I have to wake up tomorrow at 6:30 to go to Varda, to the place where my TED Talk is going to be held. I barely got like 3 hours of sleep that night. That just goes to show that was such a big moment for me. Early morning I took out the car to get it washed, and finally we made our way towards the place where the TED Talk was going to be held. So what TED does is that if you request for a license for a particular event that is coming up in your college, TED will review it and it may or may not give you the permission to conduct a TEDx event. So it's not a TED event, it's a TEDx. X means independently organized event. The college which had sent me the invitation was conducting their TEDx event that was at the Tameg Institute of Medical Science, DMIMS. And this particular college is roughly 1.5 hours from my place. So we started roughly at around 7:30 or 8. My very good friend and co-intern Kaustubh joined with me. After a long drive on a Monday, I finally made it into college. I could totally see the chaos which was going on behind the scenes, because I personally have been a part of so many organizing committees during my college and MBBS days that I know that it is such a big thing to host an event, especially of this big size, with so many eyes judging you about every single tiny thing that you're doing. The most special part to me was the organizing committee, who was just fantastic, and they did almost everything very splendidly. So hats off to you guys if you're watching. So पीछे वो stage है, वहाँ पे talk देना है. It's a very big auditorium. We're expecting a crowd of roughly 500. तो बहुत सारे कॉलेज आ रहे हैं. Like he is the coordinator. बहुत अच्छा job किया मेरे से coordinate करके. I wanna thank him for giving us this opportunity. और yes, feeling excited. Finally, I have been practicing a lot घर पे. Let's do this. चलो, see you on stage. I met so many different TEDx speakers over there. Everyone was at the apex of their life, and the most inspiring person that I met that day was a person called as Chetna Sahu. So she is a mountaineer and she climbed Mount Everest at the age of roughly 50. So that's crazy, and she also got like frostbite, for which she had to be amputated. The fingers had to be amputated. So she was the most inspirational person that I found on that entire event day. And still the imposter syndrome came to me, because there is somebody who has climbed the literal tallest mountain of the world at the age of 50, where people don't even feel like CD chadne ka. And then there's me, who just makes videos on the internet. So the imposter syndrome was back. But after meeting the students of that college and so many teachers actually inspired by the videos that I make, I finally got the motivation back. I know बहुत सारे ups and downs है story में. It's not a plain story at all, because I want to share this experience to you very, very honestly. And finally, all the dignitaries as well as the TEDx speaker were called on stage.
The more you will take out. And now, on with the show.
My talk was fifth in line out of the 6 TEDx speakers which were present. So I first sat down and listened to all the 4 amazing talks which were given. So according to the TEDx guidelines, I cannot actually put out the entire talk and put it on my channel. So I've just added a few bits of footages from here and there, so that it might help you get some value out of this. And well, finally the 5th number was announced, and well, this happened.
Currently an intern at GMC Nagpur. His expertise in the field of medicine and his passion for educating people has garnered a significant following for the same. Dr. Anuj Pachhel continues to positively impact the lives of individuals, empowering them. Please welcome him on stage with a huge round of applause.
I'm so happy to be here. The speeches so far has been so great and such a learning opportunity for me. I want to tell you a story that is a decade old. A story that starts when I was just a class 8 student back in 2013. And I was hoping कि मैं first prize जीत जाऊँ. But unfortunately, the baking soda volcano girls
won the first prize once again.
कुछ नहीं, हार सबके लाइफ में होती है, बट उससे सीख लेना इंपॉर्टेंट होता है, बिकॉज नेक्स्ट ईयर मैं बेकिंग सोडा वॉल्केनो बना और मैं प्राइज लिया. सो आफ्टर कमिंग बैक होम 3.5 hours लगे थे उस समय वो एक छोटे से वीडियो को अपलोड होने को. आई स्टिल रिमेंबर, बट आई वॉज रियली हैप्पी आफ्टर डूइंग दैट. नोबडी रियली सॉ इट, but it started a fire inside me. It started a curiosity inside me. I really wanted to now learn what is the process in which you can shoot, you can edit and you can tell a story. The process that is commonly known as filmmaking. वहाँ से वो एक छोटी सी न्यूटन्स डिस्क से मेरे अंदर एक फायर शुरू हुई. A passion which you say. And throughout my entire school life, I made around 50 videos, which I'm sure nobody will ever see. Some with my friends, some with my family, some to post online, some for my school fair, some for my annual function for my school. But in the end, the result was very, very positive. I was given an All India rank of 885. out of the 1.5 million people who gave the exam.
Which allowed me to pursue my dream of becoming a doctor from one of the best colleges in India, GMC Nagpur.
The Indian education is such that it allows us to only and only focus on padhai and padhai. In a country like India, that is also very essential because the shortest path to your financial success is education. ये roof देख रहे हो? Can you all see this roof? बोलो हाँ. Imagine this roof to be your happiness. ये roof ऐसी ही नहीं खड़ी है. There are pillars which are supporting this roof, making it stand tall. It is stable right now. Exactly the way that there are some qualities in you, some qualities in your life which make this roof of happiness very, very stable, that prevent it from falling down. So what happens is that when you are going ahead in your life, एक pillar को तुम ज़्यादा focus देते हो. Let's say you go into a PG. Let's say you take a difficult branch. Your career pillar will be standing so tall and so stable. But will you be able to give time to your family or your health? No. So do you think the roof will be stable? No. Your roof will be liable to break. So let's say something even happens to your career वाला pillar. तुम्हारा HOD से झगड़ा हो जाता है, डिपार्टमेंट में झगड़ा हो जाता है, तुम्हारा इंटर्न टेड टॉक देने आ जाता है तो पोस्टिंग मिस कर देता है. So your happiness will come crashing down. So it's very important to have more pillars of happiness to have a stable life in the future.
And I'm so happy about it. Surely it took some time and effort, but the fact that I consistently did it transformed it from just being a passion, just being a hobby of mine, to becoming a pillar of my happiness that I can rely on. Thank you so much, everyone.
The feeling that I got when I got onto the stage was something which I had never felt before. I actually saw like the entire auditorium which was filled from the top to the bottom. Everybody was just listening very patiently and the audience was just cheering so loud because in that very moment I realized that okay, let's do this. We got this. And it actually kind of felt like I was speaking to my juniors. It did not feel like I was giving a TED talk. It did not feel like I'm doing something crazy. It just felt like I was having a heart-to-heart talk with my fellow juniors and some of the people that actually follow the content which I make. You know what the best part was though? The best part was that my parents, my mom and dad, they were sitting in the first row and both of them were looking at me and smiling, and that honestly, that level of support is actually what is required for you to go ahead in life. In my tuition classes, my zoology teacher used to say this कि तुम मेहनत कितने भी कर लो, अगर तुम्हारे सर के ऊपर आशीर्वाद नहीं है तो तुम ज़्यादा आगे नहीं जा पाओगे. And I think the blessings and the love and support which I get from my family and especially my parents has been a really big part of my life. So I just want to take a moment to say thank you, Mummy and Papa, for always supporting whatever I'm doing. Anyways, the talk lasted for 16.5 minutes. I did not forget any sentence. I did not utter anywhere, and it was so smooth, and I felt like the audience actually enjoyed it. By the way, the talk is linked down below in the description. If you want to listen to the whole thing, you can go to the link and just watch it yourself. I would really appreciate if you go and just spam the comment section of the TEDx India channel. I met a lot of the students of the organizing committee as well as the students who are just students of that college who had taken a leave from their lecture to just come and attend the talk which I was giving, which was such a big deal to me. There was a small photo session and we clicked a lot of photographs, and finally this actual event of the talk was over.
No telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights. Won't stop for traffic.
If possible,
light.
can you all come in the front? So like real related calm. I wanted to make a reel like every talking person does usually after the talk has ended, but the auditorium khali ho gaya tha because everybody was back. This was in the after party stage, so not a lot of students here, but all those that stayed, thank you so much that you did. Okay, so what will you all say? Usually मैंने जो reels देखी है उसमें ऐसा कुछ तो भी बोलती है audience, correct? Yes. एक तो attempt कर सकते हैं तो energy down मत होने देना.
Even the sky is falling down.
क्या white balance?
Jumping from cliffs so high. Trusting wings to fly.
Then I took a small tour of the college, and the college is of course splendid.
Searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind. I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down. Even if the sky is falling down.
After an amazing lunch, we said goodbye to the students who were present over there, and finally this day came to an end, and that was how I gave my first TEDx talk. I still can't believe that it happened, but it did, and honestly I feel like this is not the last one. I feel like there are so many more that I have to give in the future. So what are all the lessons which I learned from this? That I have an amazing extended family, that is all of you guys who watch these videos whenever I upload them. So honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you everybody who has ever watched or interacted with my content, because this is the most amazing time of my day, even better than when I feel at the hospital, because I like making videos. So thank you so much for watching, as well as thank you so much for being with me throughout all of these years. It's your boy Anuj, and I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.